So, as no big surprise, North America is pretty much going to continue to be dominated by the CSA. And that's because the peace deal occurred, and pretty much no Pacific states are left. So California, actually, I mean, I shouldn't say that. Obviously, Oregon and Washington still exist under United States control, I guess. But all of California is now part of the Confederate States of America. So this should be a pretty interesting campaign, especially since, in terms of like relationships, well, I don't know, because once again, even the Confederate States of America, like, they somewhat like Newfoundland, or I should say Newfoundland likes the CSA. Spain and the British like the CSA, not so much France and Prussia. So we got to keep that stuff in mind. What are we looking like? So pretty much no peace deal, or I'm sorry, no big wars going on. Cameroon versus French Congo, kind of interesting, but Cameroon's going to lose that one. They're already at -52 war score, so yeah, I mean, they're not in a super good situation. Things could be better. Oh, that's right. Okay, so Angola and Zambia pieced out too. Wow. All right, so the French Congo just became super powerful. Keep in mind, the French Congo are an independent nation. I actually didn't even know that. I keep in mind myself. You guys probably already knew that. They're guaranteeing the independence of 2 other smaller African tribes, I think out towards the east, southeast, around there. And then they have a truce with Revolutionary France because they became independent. Does that mean that there are more? Yes. When did you guys all become? That's French territory. All right. Well, that's interesting. I didn't know that. So, for the most part, we've got an Africa that's pretty, relatively controlling itself. I mean, we still have Cape Colony here, Turkey, but Turkey lost a big war in the last one to Russia. That was pretty devastating, actually. I was surprised to see that. I'm gonna go up to speed 5 here. We did notice that Russia's #1 in development by far, especially after they took whatever they took away from Turkey. We could probably do one more. Let's go and check. And the British are going to take down, I think, smaller Indian nations. All right, so what are we looking like? CSA very clearly in that #2 spot. There's going to be an interesting race between these top 4, though. Russia, CSA, Great Britain, and Qing. Here's the thing. I mean, Europe is not going to be the most powerful if revolutionary France doesn't fall. And I feel like that's a possibility. I think that could be a possibility. I think Belgium, because remember, Belgium went deep into French territory. If Prussia continues to attack Belgium, I don't know. It's going to be hard because Austria is here. And Prussia and Austria hate each other, and they're actually, I think, going to be the biggest divide between who unifies Europe or not. So I don't know. It's going to be close. In terms of Morocco has got some expanding to do. I mean, they're colonizing, and I like it. They've got a pretty good font size, and we all know that font size is the only thing that matters, right? That's what I'm told in all the EU4 subreddits, forums, I should say. Font size is the only thing that matters. Wow. Hey, these little Indian countries are doing well. Okay, well, never mind. Not anymore. That's the thing. So, like, if someone in Europe were to attack the British Isles right now, it'd be completely undefended. Almost completely undefended. I mean, there's like 34,000 people. That's it. So, Prussia, Revolutionary France goes and invade. That's not going to happen. Who doesn't like Great Britain? There you go. Revolutionary France and Spain and Russia and Turkey. But the Central Powers, for the most part, are okay. Prussia, Austria, Italy. Scandinavia doesn't have like the best of opinions. Could be a little bit better, I suppose. We're dealing with a lot of truce, so there's a lot of truces currently in the world. We've got a truce between, well, pretty much the CSA can't attack. I don't know. The CSA could totally attack Mexico, though. Mexico. Oh wait, no, never mind. Who is Mexico still allied to? Colombia, who just fell. Belgium. And Brazil. Yeah, that's not going to help you at all. And there we go. There's a war. Mexico, Brazil versus, it looks like Spain and Spain's colonies. Yep, that's exactly what it was. Oh, okay. Argentina is allied to, they've got some pretty good allies. Spain, pretty much, is one of the big ones. Angola now fighting French Congo. They're doing a good job, too. Angola's going to expand their borders, it looks like. I think French Congo probably took up a little bit of aggressive expansion. They probably got quite a bit of aggressive expansion by going up into Cameroon, and that's kind of part of the issue. It's weird. So Angola and Zambia both got their peace at the same time, but they're not allied to each other. They like each other. These nations might be a little bit too fresh, a little bit too new for them to make some sort of declaration of friendship. Okay, so this is interesting. We've pretty much have unified Latin America, unified South Latin America, a unified South America. There you go. Uruguay, Argentina, and Chile. And then we have a part of Spain here too, which would explain why Spain has kind of stakes in the whole thing. So Spain didn't do anything in stopping Angola's independence. Wow. Okay. Angola looks amazing now. Cameroon still has all these cores. There'll probably be a second declaration of war between these two. Angola looks good. And again, the British are trying to stop the Indian nations from just sieging everything out. Again, that's why I think this extended timeline needs to be its own colony in itself. It's got to, or else they're not going to work. There it is, CSA versus Mexico. Although Mexico's calling in Colombia and Brazil, it might not be as one-sided as we're thinking. Whoa. Okay. Also, Peru is fighting Argentina, and Argentina called in Chile and Spain. Let's see how this goes for the CSA. I think we're going to see the CSA very quickly catch Russia. It's just a whole different ball game because who... I mean, I don't know too much about the Confederate States. All I know is they're using slavery still. So who is actually the good guy here? Russia or the CSA? Very easily, I'd say probably Russia. I mean, what are they, a democracy at this point? I don't think they are. Their Western technology, emperor, enlightened despot. I always have trouble. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. In essence, a political system where a nation is governed by an absolute ruler. I mean, that doesn't necessarily say that country's, I don't know. It's just kind of risky. Who's the absolute ruler? Is there do you have a good absolute ruler? Or is he like a jerk face? I don't know. Either way, point is, I think the Confederate States should be, I don't know. Also, this is interesting between Qing and Great Britain because all Qing has to do is take the British territory in India. And then they'll be able to just leapfrog over the British. I don't think anyone's going to catch the CSA. The CSA is going to eventually destroy the United States completely. And it looks like they have no problem with taking Mexican territory. They've already done it in the past. Look at Zambia here. Hey, how's Zambia more developed than frickin' the other one? I mean, they must just got a hold of stronger provinces. Angola is what I'm trying to say. Oh, whoa. When did that happen? Who did you take out? Who did you eat, Zambia? Who did you eat? Tell me right now. 31% Cape Colony. Maybe we'll see Angola and Zambia supports a Cape Colony independence. That's very likely, I think. Or maybe even a little bit more. I mean, who's kind of feeling the independence desire? Newfoundland? No, it's still pretty low. I think Prussia still needs a part of Hanover before they can form Germany. I mean, I'm not entirely sure about that, but I'm assuming it's more than likely what they need. And another Russian-Scandinavian war. So, I don't think anyone's going to really stop. Well, I shouldn't say that because I feel like Qing could. The problem with Qing is that they're only allied to Nepal and Thailand. Russia's going to control all of Scandinavia, though. We've seen this happen before. We've seen a Russian AI control all of Scandinavia. Oh my gosh, I didn't even realize that Finland formed Canada. That means Newfoundland will not be able to... They won't become Canada. They'll become something completely different, I think. All right. That's kind of interesting. I also like that Canada has claims on all of Newfoundland territory, as well as Cree and Blackfoot. I did notice when we started up this episode, oh, there you go. So all of northern Mexico, geez, they're not even being chill about it. The CSA is just going for it here. Oh, did Russia just peace out too? Yep, yes they did. Wow. We've got just two great forces just amassing on separate continents, and it's insane. Russia and the CSA. And the interesting part about this start date is that we have the Russian colony in Alaska, which will pull, obviously, them into a war. Here's the problem, is Russia doesn't have... I don't think Russia has a Pacific fleet. Russia probably doesn't have a fleet whatsoever. Like a very weak fleet. Nothing to be scared of. Ooh, what's this? Austria versus Württemberg? That's kind of interesting. What happened in South America? And Brazil is dominating South America. Looks like they're going to win that, especially if they keep these alliances. Well, mainly with Austria and Portugal. Hey, how did that happen? Portugal and Spain, for some reason, went to war. And Portugal somehow won. Look at that. Okay. Are they not cool with each other anymore? I guess not. Clearly not. All right, so Austria, this is a smart war for Austria. Pretty smart war for Austria to go after Württemberg since, well, I guess Belgium isn't going to come to their aid. The Pope's not going to do anything. I would be careful. Some of these smaller kind of trade nations, I'm not even sure if this is a trade nation, but they can amass a pretty massive force. Constitutional monarchy. No, I don't think this is a trade league or anything like that. I have no... Oh, well, that's a problem. Okay, I don't know if this is going to work out so well for Austria anymore. I mean, I don't know. You can't really compare Russia and Turkey. Russia was able to fight Turkey and Italy. But I don't think Austria can. Austria is certainly not as strong. Is there still a truce? I think that truce is over, too, between Austria and Russia. So we could see that war appear next. Oh my goodness. Is that a separate war? Yes, it is. Revolutionary France versus Austria. That's what happened. Oh, and you should be fine. Oh, you're also after Belgium. Okay, so Revolutionary France should come back. Wait a second, look at Prussia. Prussia's just allowing all this fighting to go down in its lands. Oh, Prussia's facing some rebels. Maybe that's why. Yeah, so Prussia's not doing so well because they've got some rebels. Well, European borders should be drastically changed by the end of this. Turkey versus Tunisia. Qing's going after Belgium. Netherlands and Belgium. Geez, British Mali continuing to expand. So Austria's losing their war against Württemberg. -18. France is losing their war against Austria. -6. Turkey and the Tunisian war. That should be Turkey. That should be pretty easily Turkey. Oh, Turkey. Oh, I guess Turkey separate peaced out of the Austrian war. This is a pretty big deal, though. I didn't know if we'd see France come back. This is not good for someone like Great Britain because France is the #1 enemy. It's enemy #1 of the British. And I've seen the British land in the British Isles. I'm sorry, the French. I've seen the British land in the British Isles. I've seen the French land. We have seen them do that before. So that could be interesting if that were to take place here. That could be. No, it would be very interesting. Portugal, I think, is expanding. Yep, Mombasa. They're now fighting Mombasa, trying to expand their own borders. Revolutionary France looks like they're going to lose this. That kind of sucks for them. And if Prussia is able to deal with those rebels, which they did, looks like Prussia's going to be the one on top here. Prussia just needs to continue to eat away at smaller nations. That's the only issue. So there's no HRE, right? Yeah, there's no HRE. Just wondering. It's 1919. Technically past the First World War. Oh, Morocco ate up this French, independent colony. Look at that. Man, the problem is I don't think there's going to be any development here. There's no development, I think, for Morocco. So that's going to be... Dang. Yeah, that's going to be their issue. Unless they get into, like, the Ivory Coast region. But That would mean British wars, and I'm sure the British would have no problem, I don't know, setting out on a journey to Northeast Africa or Northwest Africa. I mean, we've already seen the British in the Mediterranean. They've dropped off troops through the Adriatic Sea and stuff like that, so it doesn't even matter. I mean, the British colonies themselves could probably defend themselves from Morocco. Yeah, see, these two needed to be unified. I don't know how long. So obviously someone was forced to annul the peace, or annul the treaty, the alliance treaty. I don't know how long that's going to stay up for, but if Morocco and Turkey can come back on, become friends somehow, that would be very beneficial to them. Who are they giving this to? Occupied by Württemberg. So that's interesting. Is France... France is winning their war because they're dominating over Belgium. Bam. Württemberg here. Hungary's alive now. Ukraine is alive, but Ukraine's going to get eaten by Russia, let's be real. And Austria is in a very interesting situation. I didn't think that would happen. Got a pretty strong Württemberg too. Oh, and that didn't take long for Italy to do that. Now that... Okay, well, this is kind of a big deal because now that Central Europe is divided, this could be a pretty messy region now in terms of conflicts. Revolutionary France is at negative 61 war score. Jeez. It's actually Bavaria versus Württemberg, but Italy is going to help out quite a bit. So is Switzerland. Yeah, so is Switzerland. Jeez. Okay, well, I think we should see the rise and fall of Württemberg within the next one. That didn't even take too long. Revolutionary France might kind of come back slightly here. I don't know. I think it's going to take too much time, so we'll see. And the CSA is obviously eating up some native tribes. And now we have the fall of Revolutionary France, which means Normandy, Brittany, Burgundy, just a bunch of new nations all popped up in Europe. That's kind of fun. Anyways, guys, looks like I'll stop right there. That was a pretty big surprise there. I didn't think that we'd see both Austria and Revolutionary France completely collapse and open up all these kind of new nations to form in Europe, but we'll see how the bigger powers respond. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.